even return for the governorship election may be very, very difficult, if not impossible, under the circumstances. You know, our laws require that to make a return, you have to meet certain, and because of the number of local governments that you can't access, so that's why we believe that we should give priority to these for now.
INEC Chairman Professor Atahiru Jega. Staying with the conduct of the elections, the House of Representatives has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to allow registered voters with temporary voters' cards to vote. The House reached this resolution following a motion by the Minority Leader Femi Gbajabiamila, and this came as the lawmakers expressed concern over the distribution of the permanent voters' cards across the country. Our correspondent Lanre Lasisi reports.
It's the first plenary session for the year as lawmakers of the House of Representatives return from electioneering in their states. The Speaker welcomed them back, pointing them to the work ahead.
The 2015 budget proposal was received late in the date, and yet there is need to dispense with it speedily. Other pending bills, like the PIB, Electoral Act, and motions of national importance are also pending. While I share the unfortunate weight of this stress, I wish to charge that in the nation's interest, we should exercise optimum commitment in the task before us.
It was time to inform the House of more lawmakers who were decamping from their parties.
My defection is in accordance with all the relevant sections of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Like a game that has lost its flavor, the announcements drew little excitement and shouts from the lawmakers. The first motion considered focused on the coming elections and allegations of plans to hack the database of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
This House is convinced that the INEC database may contain highly sensitive data if compromised could cast heinous aspersion on the integrity of the forthcoming election. The House therefore resolved that the House constitute a high-powered committee to investigate the allegation by the DSS, which is the Directorate of State Security, and report to this House within 2 weeks.
The motion was passed unanimously. In a related development, the House also considered a motion on the permanent voters' cards being issued to Nigerians.
The House concerned that the general elections being just 4 weeks or 30 days from now, it is very unlikely that the Commission will be able to distribute the permanent voters' cards to all registered and eligible voters before the elections. Disturbed that if the current position of the Commission, that only voters with permanent voters' cards are qualified to vote, if that is not addressed, many registered and eligible voters will be disenfranchised in the 2015 general elections to the detriment of the growth of our democracy.
The motion sought to have INEC include in its guidelines for the elections a provision allowing registered voters with temporary voters' cards to vote in the elections.
Those in support of the motion.
The motion also passed without a debate.
Those against, please say nay.
Lanre Lasisi,
The ayes have it.
Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, Kwara APC launches its campaign in Ilori. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.
Enjoy thousands of hit songs on the go with the MTN Music Plus app. Enjoy non-stop streaming, watch videos, and listen to your favorite songs even when offline. Simply text music to 5900 to download the MTN Music Plus app and get free subscription for the first month.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Today is the day. The day you overcome your doubts, the skeptics, and the last-minute nerves. The day you turn all those long-held dreams into reality. The day all the small steps you've taken come together. So, what are you waiting for?
A continent on the move meets a bank on the move by connecting entrepreneurs with opportunities globally. Get on board. Let's take tomorrow. Axis Bank. Speed, service, security.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Former United Secretary General Kofi Annan says Africa's democratic future depends on Nigeria's 2015 general elections. Senate promises passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill before the end of this legislative calendar. House of Representatives proposes the use of temporary voters' card for the 2015 general election. And Rep summons Foreign Minister over UN Security Council vote on Palestine. Do remember that all our top stories are on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. And do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. And we urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS and Windows 8 platforms. If you have pictures or videos to share with us, tap the application on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions. Politicians have been warned against making offensive comments and the use of harsh words during their campaigns. The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 1, Tambari Yabo, was speaking during a meeting with politicians from Kano, Katsina and Jigawa states, all in the northern part of the country. He also told politicians to stay away from any act capable of nullifying the polls. In a reaction, representatives of the political parties at the meeting asked the police to be non-partisan in their role as law enforcement agents.
Any person who goes for any electoral meeting, for any political meeting, procession or rally, and decides to take those arms, and is arrested by the police and is taken to the court, such a person is liable to what? 2 million naira as fine or imprisonment for 2 years or both. When you go for political campaigns, the law prohibits use of tainted languages that are abusive in nature. It's capable of inciting disturbance and anger. The country must move forward. It cannot afford to be lagging behind, because once you have destruction of lives, you lost your son, you lost your brother, you will never forget about that election.
Now, a wave of attacks on journalists seems to be finding its way into Nigeria, as soldiers driving this truck, the one you're about to see on your screen, if we do have that, and other trailers conveying armored tanks out of Lagos were caught by eyewitnesses beating up a member of staff of Channels Television here in Lagos. This act was carried out by soldiers in one of the trucks with registered plate number for the Nigerian Army, AHQST 01301PS, as bystanders captured this video almost after the terrible act. 3 staff of Channels Television were subjected to the horrific treatment, with one of them, a female camera person, badly beaten up. Channels Television strongly kicks against this manner of attack and plans to petition the Chief of Army Staff over this particular unfortunate incident. Meanwhile, the Army authorities have promised to conduct an investigation into the assault on Channels Television's crew by soldiers earlier today. An official of the Army Public Relations Unit, Lieutenant Akubo, via telephone, offered his sympathies to the staff manhandled by the soldiers. He gave the assurance that the offending soldiers would be traced, and after questioning details of their vehicle the armed men were traveling in. Now, according to